So welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, AD744. So today, guys, it's an emergency stream. And you guys know I typically do this whenever things kind of go when we don't expect. And today we have some breaking news. Xavi Hernandez has been sacked as the Barca coach, and we brought Hansi Flick in as replacement so quickly. We have a lot to discuss. And yeah, like I said, guys, we're going to go to get started. And for you members out there, don't worry, guys, I'll still do the member stream. It'll just be after the stream. So hopefully we'll keep the stream around 30 minutes to an hour. I'll try to keep this 30 minutes. And yeah, so let me just give you guys my initial reaction before we get Silva's point of view. Personally, for me, I see it's weird because at one hand, I feel like we needed to do this. But on the other hand, I feel like we could have handled this a lot better. Because I do think it was the right time for. I do think we should have. I think letting Xavi go was probably the right decision. It's just the manner in which I didn't. That was really sad. We could have done this so much better. You know, it was so much of a mess. And you know, people are saying like Barca's like keeping up with the Kim Kardashians with them. How much drama we've been doing, which is kind of sad. We've been compared to that. You know. And yeah, I think for Xavi, man, it's right. So we're gonna first discuss about Xavi, and then we'll discuss about Flick as well. So Silva, man, give me your quick reactions, man, about Xavi being sacked. Obviously, we kind of expected this. We've been keeping up to Twitter. You know, we've been kind of hearing news that it's probably going to be imminent, but I didn't expect it to be this soon. I didn't expect it to be on a Friday. I was expecting at least after Sunday, you know, after a final match. But instead, they do it before Sevilla. So yeah, I mean, give me your quick thoughts, man.
I mean, the rumors have been speculating around like since last Wednesday, I believe. Around there,
Yeah.
that was like there was Laporta and the rest of the board were like thinking about like sacking Xavi because of the words he said at the press conference, saying like, "Oh, we are not able to compete at the top level, especially against Real Madrid," and that kind of pissed off Laporta, and that pretty much Laporta wanted to sack him after that. But I thought it was going to be on Monday because that's what I saw, that they were saying like Flick was going to be announced on a Monday. So I was assuming that Xavi was also going to be sacked. Like, and especially we have our last game on Sunday against Sevilla. I would at least think like we would sack Xavi after that, but they did it like 2 days earlier, and that kind of was a surprise to me. I woke up, I look at the news, and I see the comunicado oficial and the Barca account saying that Xavi will not continue as the coach anymore. Then an hour or two later, Flick was announced as our new coach. So I think Xavi, it should have been gone anyway, but the way we did it was a bit disrespectful to him because back in February when we lost to Villarreal 5-3 at the Montjuic, Xavi announced in the press conference that he was going to leave the club at the end of the season. And that for me was like, okay, he announced it. We should look for the coach from then. And right now we should be looking at signings, not for a new coach. So I think Laporta kind of handled this poorly because like right when Xavi announced that he was gone, we should have been having another coach official like a few weeks after. Like look at Liverpool when Klopp left, they announced Arne Slot after it. They didn't want him to stay, but like the way Laporta did it, Xavi announced that he was leaving, and then pretty much after the two games that pretty much decided our season against PSG and Real Madrid, pretty much after that, you'd think that for sure Laporta wouldn't want Xavi to stay. But then Laporta wanted him to stay for another season. And for me, this is also Xavi's fault because he should have said no still. He's the one who also agreed to stay. He's a grown man, he's not a child. He can make up his own decisions. And
Yeah.
for me, he should have said no. But he decided to stay. And then, like a month later, he ended up being sacked. So I think it's pretty much it's pretty screwed up what happened to Xavi, but it's kind of his fault as well. Like obviously, Laporte is not innocent. He's definitely by far not innocent. He's far from
Yeah.
it. But Xavi is also like, come on, you announced
Yeah.
that he was leaving. Stay with your word. And that you know what, I would have respected Xavi if he actually stuck with his word. But like after he said like he was gonna stay, I was like, come on, you have no dignity for yourself. Like Luis Enrique, when he announced that he was leaving at the end of the season, he left at the end of the season. He didn't change his mind. He didn't do anything. He just left when he said so. And that's for me, I respect him for that. But Xavi, he decided to stay. And then in the end, Laporta backstabs him in the back. and sacks him on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go through some comments and then I'll tell you I'll do a poll and how you guys feel. So I wonder how many more the game. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hansi Flick is the best immediate coach we could have got. Okay, let's discuss Xavi first. We hired the guy who clapped his hands. How can you betray Xavi like this, bro? Yeah, it almost feels like we betrayed.
I mean, yeah, like Laporta, I have to say he disrespected three club legends. Like Messi, he said he was going to renew him. Didn't happen. And apparently Messi doesn't like Laporta anymore. And then with Koeman, I know it was a fair sacking, but the way he did it, like he kept him for another season. He was in the plans. And then he sacked him like 2 months after the first season started. And now look with Xavi, another club legend who came and now being disrespected again. So I don't know. Like Laporta doesn't know what he's doing really. He's just
And you know what
putting in names.
And you know what the sad thing is? Apparently, I don't know if this is true. You could probably verify this. I heard there were already talks with Hansi Flick before Xavi even knew he was going to leave.
Well, I know there was talks about like back in April after Real Madrid when we kept Xavi. There was talks saying like Hansi Flick was number one to replace. Never got the job, and then like a month later, and I also saw the reports that you saw saying like Hansi Flick was like already confirmed pretty much before Xavi was sacked, and that's disrespectful for me. At least sack the coach first, and then have him. But that is what it is. Whatever is done is done.
Yeah, we can't change the past. So, yeah, I'm gonna do a poll right there. Poll right there. Oh, I think he got kicked out, so he'll try to join back. But I did a poll for you guys, so I want you guys to react to the poll. So, do you guys think this was the right decision? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Let's move to the next comment. Okay. Let me just say this right now. Barca will still be big. It doesn't matter what Dembele did against us. Okay. It doesn't matter. Come on. Barca will always still be one of the biggest clubs in the world. I'm sorry. There will. I don't think we'll. Actually, do you think we'll ever see a world where PSG is bigger than Barca? Because I don't think we'll ever see it.
Never. Like if a player has two options between Barca or PSG, they're gonna go to Barca. Like most of the time, I would say. Like one person is like Dembele or like Neymar, but even Neymar regretted going to PSG. So
and let me just say this right now.
PSG.
Let me just say this right now, PSG. Win a Champions League first before you even talk to Barca.
Exactly. Even City have a Champions League.
Yo, seriously, how could this turn out for Barca? Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. We don't know, man. Okay. Flick is a good manager, but he had a terrible campaign with Germany. Yeah, we'll get to Flick, man. Let's talk about Xavi first, man. Let's talk about Xavi first. Okay. That's weird that Barca put a new coach Hansi Flick over Xavi. Yeah, that is crazy. Like, you are actually prioritizing the new coach over how does Hansi Flick know he's a new coach and Xavi not know he's not going to renew? Like that's crazy. That's really bad. I'm sorry.
No,
that looks really stupid.
The thing that's disrespectful is like Xavi was in the plans for next season. Like he was planning out like his transfers, the players he wants, the structure he wants, and then all of a sudden he gets sacked. So that for me, like we wasted a lot of time for next season's preparations.
Yeah, Marino Chelsea might have done some, yes, but could have handled differently. Laporta's a joke. Shame Xavi got sacked at the end of the season. Okay. Peter's more relevant right now, creating more history. Okay. I don't know what that. I'm going to just ignore that. But yeah, okay. So let me ask you this question. So let's. So why did you want Xavi to go? Were you Xavi out even after last season, or it was really this season you became Xavi out?
Listen, I was Xavi out since we lost to Inter 1-0. Like after we went to Europa League again, because. Listen, I know the first season he came, I will not blame him for that. He came in a complete mess. He came into a complete mess, and he didn't have really a good team on paper, but we played promising football with Xavi in his first season. The Frankfurt game, I will not blame him on that because we had injuries, the squad wasn't great, and he had to play players like Mingueza at right back, Eder Garcia, and all of that. But the ideas he had in his first season were great. I think after that Frankfurt game, is where he pretty much changed up his ideas and became more like pragmatic, more rigid. And that for me, that was going to be his downfall. And like the signings he got that summer, Lewandowski, Rafinha, Kunde, Christensen, even Kessié, a good depth signing. The signings we got that summer, like we should not be going to Europa League. Like I know Inter are a great team, Bayern are a great team, but the way we played it's not the fact we lost to Inter, it's the way we lost to them. Like we didn't even penetrate them at all. Like we barely could create a lot. We couldn't even get past their defense. And
Yeah.
that for me was like he's not that guy for us to take the next step. Like it was clear that in Europe he's not that guy. And then after that it was like I was pretty negative about him. Even when we won La Liga, the way we was playing, it was so obvious that the next season that we was going to struggle a lot because the way we were playing, it was not even that great. Like we would score one goal and then stop attacking for the rest of the game. And I know people are going to say, oh, but we had like the most clean sheets last season. You got to put it to context. Like we had a great defense and even they let lots of strikers and attackers go in one-on-one and they skied their chances. And I'm like saying like, if we're gonna keep playing like this, we're not gonna go far next season. Like we are lucky that Real Madrid were inconsistent in the league last season. That's really why we won last season. And then I knew after that, the next season, it was so obvious. Like for me, it was so obvious. I don't know how lots of people didn't see this, but like this season, it was so obvious that we was gonna go down in terms of quality. And I was right. We conceded a lot. We lost a lot of games, and it's not the way we lost them. Like I said, I mean, it's not that we lost it; it's the way we lost it. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? One of my issues I have with Xavi is that every time we lose a game, he always seems to blame the refs. He never blames the team itself or
Exactly,
takes accountability. Like that's pathetic. I'm
exactly.
sorry.
Like
Like
exactly.
it's unacceptable.
Xavi, every time he loses a game, he will never blame the team. He will never blame himself. He will blame about the referees, the officials. He'll say like, "Oh, La Liga is against us." Like for me, listen, you're not playing well. Like even the game. Listen, I have like few games this season, very few games that I was impressed with this season. Even the games we won in this season, most of the time, I was not impressed with the way we played. And it was so evident, it was so obvious that we was not gonna do well this season. Like you know what? I was being somewhat optimistic. I thought we was gonna at least win a Super Cup or Copa del Rey, but that didn't even happen. Like we went trophyless, and with the team we have, like that's not acceptable. And the fact that Xavi is saying like we cannot compete we cannot compete with the big teams anymore. We're still in a rebuild session. Like, bro, you out of all the coaches, out of Koeman, out of Setien, out of those coaches, you were the one who was backed the most. Like you had the best, you had the better transfers, you had the better signings. Like it wasn't even just
Yeah.
Lewandowski and that 2022 transfer window. You got Gundogan this season as well.
You got
So
Kunde, one of the best La Liga
you got
defenders.
exactly. You got Kunde. Like you had great transfers. So like the way we just regressed this season is his fault. Obviously, there are some players that also need to go, but Xavi is not innocent. He's the reason why that we didn't compete at all this season.
Yeah,
Like
and
every big
you know,
game, Real Madrid they smashed us in the final. They smashed us in the final against Villarreal at home. They smashed us. Girona twice smashed us, and
and I'm sorry, we can't.
Even Bilbao in the Copa del Rey, they smashed us.
And
And
remember,
yeah,
these teams are inferior to Barca. These teams are inferior. Like we have a better team than them on paper, so there's no excuse.
exactly, exactly. And look at Girona. Girona, they played much better than us this season, even though they have a much inferior team than us. And they played much better than we did, and they even beat us twice. And it was a humiliation both times.
Yeah,
And for me, like Xavi says that he needs Zubimendi, Bernardo, and Nico Williams. If you need like if you need like a fully good team, like if you think that you need a fully good team to be good, then I'm sorry, you're simply not a good coach. Because a real good coach, he would improvise what he has. Like I know we lost Busquets, I know we lost Alba, but even then we have Balde starting and we got Cancelo inside here. Like we only really lost Busquets and we were missing like an interior midfielder, which Xavi wanted Bernardo. And for me, it's like, look at Girona. Look at their midfield. You're telling me that they have a better midfield than we do, and the way they're playing, you really think that they have better players than we do? Like it's really
Testing,
like
testing. What the trick? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah. And see, the thing is, I will give Xavi like credit, at least La Liga wise. We at least made top 2 every season, but that's not really something to be proud of because La Liga is not that competitive anymore. It's weak. Like, would you guys say this has been the weakest La Liga we have in a long time?
Guys, I think
yeah,
we all agree that Xavi had to leave. But I feel like we're pointed in the direction of the wrong people here, bro. There's only one guy that deserves to be open, and for me, that's obese president named John Laporta, who
Oh
has
man,
run us to I've seen this club been run poorly, but this is by far the worst I've ever seen Barca has ever been run by a president. Not even Bartomeu could cook up something this ridiculous as to announce that a manager is staying, and then a few weeks later he lets him leave. You know what I mean? After the manager announces that he wanted to leave, it's like a yo-yo. And never in my life I've seen Barcelona behave like this. And for me,
yeah, and also, yeah, you know what the sad thing is? Like, can you guys clarify for me because this is also another thing that confuses me. Did we just sack Xavi because of the press conference? Because if so, that looks really stupid.
oh yeah, it's definitely
pretty much.
yeah. The press conference was the main reason that Laporta got
Because
angry.
look, AD, Charlie had a very shit season this year. He was losing the big games. He was playing awful football, but Laporta still decided to keep him. So for me, I don't think it's really the way we was playing. It's really the press conference after what the words he said, saying like, "Oh, we can't compete anymore." So I think that's why Laporta decided to change his mind and sack him.
you
because
know, you know
because
what's sad? AD, I just wanna add this point. What makes me sad is the fact that it's always lead to harming the image of the club. It's always that people don't say it's Laporta and the guys running it. They always pointed at the institution. People are out here saying Masque un club at the institution, bro. You know what I mean? Like for me, this is what it saddens me because regardless of how these the clowns are inside that are running the institution like this horribly, painting us in a bad image, but they can say whatever they want. My club, Barca, is still does a lot more good than a majority of those comeback institutions like Chelsea, Liverpool. Ain't no, none of them have to actually put money in their pocket to develop kids from the streets, bro. None of them actually have to sacrifice to do good things for people in their community. So yeah, these guys can suck it. We're still more than a club. We still are the team that competes in every sport in every institution. We're still the club that funds a lot of foundations. This is still a good club, but at the end of the day, when it comes to management, the entire institution is being run like a circus was because Laporta, for some reason, has his family members in there running amok. So for me, I just want to add that point. It always tarnished the institution of a good club, but unfortunately, that's just football, man.
yeah, it's just sad. It's just sad that we decided to sack Xavi not because of performances or results or anything like. We sacked him because he said that. Now, maybe I do agree you shouldn't really say that publicly, but that can't be your main. That can't be the main reason. You can't. Like, do you guys think like do you guys think Xavi's right to say that in public? Because I don't think he was. That was probably a bad idea. You
No, you
can't be saying
can't.
that like
I
that.
know if you believe it, you still cannot say it in public. Because
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
even if you think you can't say that in public. That's just disrespectful to the club itself, to to the players as well that you're coaching. Like you're pretty much telling them that you're not good enough.
Like this should
yeah.
never be an issue. Like Why can't Laporta just grab Xavi privately and tell him, bro, don't say that again. Don't ever say that again. Like done. Solution. But this clown decided to get so emotional. He thought that sacking the manager he just announced that he's gonna continue for next season. He just recently announced it. He did a whole press conference. When you do a press conference to announce something, you don't turn back and change it because it's supposed to be a serious institution. So how are we in this situation where Flick is coming in? With for me, I completely agree that Xavi had to leave, but there are certain ways you have to do it. And
Yes,
the way we
yes.
have done this, the way we have gotten rid of Xavi after we just convinced him to stay, is an absolute clown show. I didn't agree with his continuation, but the board already made the final say. So what is this last minute switch? This is another improvisation. I don't feel like Flick is coming in with a proper structure and plan for
Wait,
him
wait,
to
wait, wait,
work.
Vic. We'll talk about Flick. We'll talk about Flick. I just want to talk about Xavi right now. But yeah, I mean, it's just sad. Like it almost feels. And we're guys, Xavi's a club legend. He's one of our best players of all time. There's no denying that. He is one of our best players of all time. You guys would agree with me, right?
I would, yeah. He's definitely like a huge part of Barca's history. He's one of our best midfielders of all time. He was our captain for a few years. He came to coach the club. He wanted to succeed here as the club, as a manager. It just didn't work out, unfortunately, for him. But the way,
Yeah.
like we can't disrespect the club legend like that.
Nope. For me,
Yeah.
you have to have a level of respect. But for me, Xavi does hold a lot of part of the blame in this whole situation, especially when I think Silva brought this up in VC. When for me, when Xavi announced his leaving, he should have never considered continuing, bro. He shouldn't have let Laporta sway him into continuing.
But do you guys also blame Laporta because
Oh,
I think
100%. He's out to blame for the entire situation that we're in. Everything. 100%
yeah,
Laporta.
because my thing is that if someone wants to leave, you shouldn't force them to stay. Like you shouldn't do that. That's bad. It looks
Yeah.
it means you're desperate. It means you're desperate.
Mhm.
You know.
And Kule, like you said, Cruyff told Xavi if he ever becomes coach, don't let the board
Dictate his play. Don't let him dictate
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah. Cruyff told him, AD, you can go look at that video. Cruyff told him he said, if the board tries to put their influence in you as a manager, tell them to F off. Tell them to go screw themselves because that's your domain. You're the one in charge after you get hired. But unfortunately, I don't feel like Xavi was strong enough to make his own decision, make his own calls. And let's say, imagine Xavi listened to Cruyff and was actually stubborn and stick to his convictions, bro, and didn't let Laporta sway him every direction. Every press conference this season was so contradicting because the board kept on making him read from a script, bro. For me, if Xavi would have stood strong and be honest with us, bro, I would have been way more I would have backed Xavi 100%, bro, because then I know the board are the one that are screwing up. But Xavi actually fell into this trap and actually started to let the board actually influence his job, bro. For me, Xavi
Yeah,
he has a lot of blame, bro.
yeah. Xavi was like
Yeah.
a puppet. Like for me, if you're the coach, you gotta have the say in like the transfers and like what the team looks like and what you think about it. But Laporta was the one like controlling pretty much everything at the club. He was the one getting transfers that Xavi didn't even want. Like there was zero communication.
And for
Yeah.
me,
And you know what's
that's
actually
what
really sad? You know what's really sad? One thing one thing I'll say, and then we'll move to comments. We'll talk about Flick real briefly. Then we'll probably head out. I want to say this real quick because I heard the Barca board. A lot of them were split. Some of them wanted Xavi to stay. Some of them wanted one of them wanted Marquez, I think. And some of them wanted Flick. Like and the board's not even like fully like. There's not like clear communication between the board and the
Exactly.
Xavi.
Exactly.
So
There's no communication. And also, you know what? I just thought about this. I think the press conference was definitely one of the reasons, but I think another reason was because Andre Corre, Victor Hockey's agent, he was complaining about his game time. And I think
oh
that
yeah,
pretty
that's
much
a good point.
sparked that sparked Laporta because he has a good relationship with Corre and he didn't want that to go away. So that he was like, oh no, I can't have this happen.
I must say this about Andre Corey. He can go f the hell off. I'm
Whoa,
glad
whoa,
we
whoa, whoa.
brought. I glad he got Vitor Roque. But prior to the Vitor Roque sign, this guy is known for sending us bum ass Brazilians, bro. So that bro, this
Wow,
guy
wow.
has majority of his signings that have come to Barca have been flops, bro. For me, I know for a fact, and because I watch Vitor Roque, might be his one only good dub, bro. This is why I'm allowing him to go into the press conference and speak, because I feel like Vitor Roque hasn't gotten a real opportunity because for some weird reason Xavi didn't want to give him one. So for me, I will do that quiet. Sorry, my chihuahua is barking. For me, Andre Kuri, for me, bro, this is one of those sneaky agents, bro, that takes get commission from the club, bro. I don't trust him, but I'll say about Vitor Roque and the Xavi situation. For me, that we can't spend that much money on a promising Brazilian and then not really give him an opportunity, bro. That's ridiculous.
All right, let's go read some of you guys'
Before
comments.
before we do that, I want to just point this
Okay.
out. In 2008, when Pep Guardiola came in, he kicked out Deco out of the club to make room for Xavi as the player. And now, fast forward years later, Deco is the one who pushed for Xavi to be sacked.
Yep.
Wow. How the tides have turned.
Yeah, now the tables have turned.
Wow. Okay, let's go.
I saw it on Twitter.
Okay. That's actually very interesting you brought that up. Let me read some of you guys' comments. Sebastian's, you're not going to change my mind. You're not going to change anyone's mind that PSG is bigger than Barca, okay, or Arsenal, okay, whatever. So, I'm not going to read those comments. Okay.
Yeah, this is what happens.
No, how is that delusional? Barcelona is better than Girona and Athletic Bilbao on paper. That is
guys. A little friendly advice: if you have kids, don't drop them. Don't drop them when they're little, because they'll end up like Sebastian. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa. Okay. Let's respect Sebastian. Let's respect Sebastian. Okay, let's move on. So let's move. True, 2023, 2024 for Barca was one of the worst of all time. It's a disgrace. Come on, we're still. Come on, no. Okay, hello, so are you? Yeah, it's just been a crazy day, guys. Like I was at work. Like I couldn't even really focus on work because like I was thinking to myself, this Barca thing was getting me.
They're calling us Kardashian FC, bro, and I completely agree with them, bro. No way, bro.
Oh my jeez. Oh my god. I hope Kim Kardashian does not watch this. Okay, anyways. Tomomi says, Laporta got mad that Xavi finally started speaking up rather than playing victim. Weird for him to turn on Xavi after at first asking him to stay, etc. That's also another thing. How as much as we bring, we're gonna talk about Flick in a bit, but I don't know how much. We'll talk about it, actually. Let's go through comments. I'll say the way Barca managed the situation is ridiculous. I agree, 100%. The one good thing about this though is that Barca fans are finally directing their energy at Laporta. You know, guys, I'll be honest with you. I think we could see Laporta out chance being very soon.
Easy.
I think that might actually happen.
Easy. We might ask for his resignation soon.
Yeah. I'll you know what? I'll give you one last chance with Flick. Okay, I'll give you one last chance with Flick. But if you mess this up, I'm calling for your resignation. That's at least what I'm doing.
Silva, didn't you post news about Flick wanting a German goalkeeper, bro? Like, Stiegen days are numbered. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, guys. Let's talk. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Just let me go through comments. Okay. Is sacking Xavi because of press conference worse than how Chelsea sacked Poch? Well, to be fair, I think Poch decided to leave. I don't think Chelsea's. I think they decided to part ways. So, yeah, I mean, we know Chelsea in general like to sack managers a lot. They do it in very ruthless fashion and do very.
I mean, they did it with Tuchel. They sacked him for having anger issues.
Wow. So, I mean, which is worse? I think that's
ours.
Yeah, ours because we turn on Xavi and then we decide to give him another pass and then we turn on Miguel. Like, this is crazy. Guys, have you ever seen this happen before?
Only at Barca. This is the first time I've ever seen like a club announce that you are gonna stay, you're gonna have plans of next season, and then a month later you sack him. Like, I've never seen this happen. Imagine being in Xavi's boots. Like, that would be so fucked.
Yeah, it's so sad, man. I feel genuinely bad. Flick is a bit overrated. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Barca discussed always just with legends. Okay, yeah, we this was bad.
At least we have legends to disrespect, unlike PSG, bro.
Okay.
The biggest legend,
Okay.
the biggest legend, Neymar, was disrespected. That's how you know. Now Mbappe.
Yeah. Laporta's second reign has been awful. The La Liga title win 2022, 2023, papered over cracks. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
I fully agree.
Exactly.
Definitely.
That's my point. That's my point, bro.
All right. I see someone is trying to impersonate me, so I'll hide that user in the channel, and I'll have to ban that. I'll try to report that person. But let's move on. Laporta's second reign, so it's awful. Yeah, I think you guys would agree, right?
Easily.
Yeah. No, we won't. We'll make the Champions knockouts. Okay. Where does Xavi actually go after this? Yeah, that's actually a good question. Where do you guys think?
I heard that South Korea wanted Xavi.
Apparently, Xavi rejected that.
I
Yeah,
thought
he
you said
rejected-
North. I
he
thought you
rejected it.
thought you said North Korea. Like what?
Well,
And I also heard I also heard about Ajax, but Ajax just hired Farioli, so I don't know where Xavi's actually gonna go.
yeah. I mean, maybe a mid-table La Liga team might be interested, but
I think so. That's his level for me. I don't
Yeah,
think
maybe
he
he's
can go to
definitely a
top club.
mid-table type
Yeah.
of manager.
Agreed. Yeah, he's a mid-table level manager. He's not a big club. He can't handle the pressure.
yeah, I think that's very true. Okay, let's move. If only he was as stubborn as he's playing with Roque. Ter Stegen's definitely getting sold now. We'll see. Hopefully, get Barca to go. Okay. The way Xavi should be real quick has been ridiculous. Yeah, the board is all over the place right now. So the power rift between what Deco was doing with what Xavi wanted, but it all falls apart because he's supposed to handle all that.
Yeah, how bad was fun,
glorious.
really, bro? How bad was fun, really? That's my biggest question,
both
bro.
of them. Both of them I didn't like. Font I didn't like.
But after
Okay,
seeing what Laporta did, how are you feeling now?
I still think Font was I think a little bit worse, but that just shows our candidates pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll just do this later. Replacing Busquets with Romeo was ridiculous too. Oh my god, that's crazy.
I'll say this. I heard a report saying like we rejected Ederson from Atalanta to get Romeo.
Oh my jeez.
I need to see more from Ederson to really.
Dude, Ederson's better than Romeo. Come on.
Yeah, but is he Barca level? That's the question.
Okay, that's fair. Sebastian says for Laporta. The good thing is that I think this worked out for you guys in terms of exposing Laporta's politics. Eventually, people will turn on him like they did with Bartomeu. Yeah, that's probably true.
Laporta is just a politician. All he does is talk, but when it actually comes to action, he does nothing. Does nothing useful.
Okay. Let's relax there, Terry. Let's relax. Xavi to Bayern. Oh, you know, really funny, guys. You know, really funny. Xavi Hernandez goes to Bayern meeting, but I heard Bayern's going for
company, bro. Who is in a bigger mess, Barca or freaking?
I think
Bayern. Bayern is actually crumbling, bro. How did they end up like this?
Yeah.
Oh, but
Bayern is
it's about the mid-off boards.
Definitely.
They sacked Nagelsmann for absolutely no reason to get Tuchel, and they was planning to sack Tuchel until he made the UCL semis. But Tuchel was like, "No, fuck off. You want me sacked? I'll leave." So they pretty much disrespected him. And the next coach you're getting is a relegation, Vincent Kompany. So I think they're in a worse situation than we are.
Yeah.
You know, I want to say this. Bro, if we had signed Tuchel, I would have been a lot more hype. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. Yeah, me too.
Okay, let's go through this. So Tari says, would you have appointed Victor Font instead of Laporta in hindsight?
No, because Victor's Font's whole project was Xavi. So he was also bad.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
I would have to see how between the two presidents how they behave, because Laporta, for me, bro, he brought in a lot of interesting people like Matteo Almani, the other economic guy that was the vice president with him, who actually left.
Look, I'll say this about Victor Font: he's a bit of a pussy. Like,
whoa.
I don't look, because look, in the campaign, he was really like crumbling under pressure.
Yeah, but
Like I don't think.
that's because Laporta was using a pretty insane tactic, which is named nostalgia
Yeah,
tax.
but
He
listen,
was saying this is what some of the things he said. He said under when
listen.
I was president, Real Madrid never won a major trophy. He said that.
Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like he's a politician. He always talks, talks, talks. But when in reality he doesn't do anything useful.
Yeah,
But
but
Font, like,
his
but with Font, I'll say this: he doesn't. I don't think he can handle the pressure. And on top of that, the signings that he wanted was like the same as like the Pai Wijnaldum, and he wanted Juan Bernat from PSG. Remember?
Oh
You
my
know who that
God,
guy is?
Wijnaldum burnout.
So like, that's for me. It's like I don't think he's any better. Both of them are
Yeah.
like frauds for me.
Okay, let's move, guys. Let's move. Well, man, we're already 35 minutes in. I want to keep this out around. To be what M said, the weirdest thing about this Laporta second reign is that a lot of the issues didn't stem from his doing, Barcelona attacks, but he's been too busy playing politics to actually address them head on. Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be okay. Laporta can keep Messi too. I can't believe company's going to Bayern. That's definitely cap. Just like I got Flex sacked in Germany, United as well. Okay, now let's talk about Flick, guys. So now that we know it's official, guys, Hansi Flick to Barca. How are you guys feeling? Because for me, obviously it's an upgrade. It's obviously an upgrade on Xavi. There's no, that's obvious. But the thing is, like, being an upgrade isn't really good enough. Is he the right man for Barca? Because I'll be
I'll
honest with
say
you,
this.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. Like, because I feel like for me, this seems good on paper, but will it actually work is the bigger question. Because for me, I'm very skeptical. Because I don't believe these Barca players can play like I don't think these Barca players can do what Bayern Munich did in 2020. I don't think they could do that. I don't think we have the right set of players to do that. So, yeah, that's I don't think we can do the gegenpressing as
So
high physical as them.
my thoughts on this is like for me, Flick was obviously definitely not my first choice. The people who know me obviously know that my first choice was Thomas Tuchel, and then even the second choice was Thiago Motta. I had Flick as a third choice, but Flick isn't the worst one to get. You know,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
think
definitely not.
he's still a good coach. Like he's not as bad as people think he is. But I will also say this: he's also a bit overrated. Like he's not as good as people say he is either. So
No.
for me, I think this
Yeah.
could go either way. Like I think it could be a success, or I think it could just be a complete failure.
So
But
you don't think there's anything in between, right?
it could, but that's what I think. I think it's either success or just a complete failure, because like his style of football is pretty expansive, and this is going to be completely different than what Barca are used to. Like we're slowly moving away from the Barca philosophy, which for me is a good thing
Yeah.
because it hasn't been working out. But it's going to be definitely different for the players. But I think it could benefit some people like Rafinha, Pedri, De Jong if he stays, Yamal, Fermin Lopez, Vitor Hockey, even Lewandowski. Lewandowski knows Flick as well. But I will say this, uh, definitely in attack, it will be fine. Like he loves players who press a lot, and we have players like that. And we have Ansu Fati coming back. Let's see how he does. He's someone who likes to press. Same with Vitor Hockey. Same with Rafinha. And we have Gavi coming back from injury. Balde coming back from injury. They could be important for Flick's system. But the problem is, like when we don't have the ball, we have players like Gundogan, who's not really he doesn't really press for the ball. He's just there. But when he's on, obviously Gundogan is a great player, but off the ball he doesn't press, and I don't think he will suit a Flick system like that. But attacking wise, he lets the attackers have positional freedom, like we saw at Bayern. Remember that Bayern 2020 team?
Yeah. It was
Like
great.
you saw the attackers, every one of those attackers had positional freedom. They got to move around. They had to play freely. And like the wingers and Müller pressed a lot. Lewandowski didn't really press a lot, but he was an exception because obviously he was scoring so much goals that year. So, but the problem is like Lewandowski is not the same guy like he was in 2020.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
I don't know how he'll be. I think he'll be slightly. I think he'll be better with Flick, but I still think he'll still show signs of decline. And the thing that I respect about Flick is like he rejected Chelsea. He even rejected a return to Bayern. He really wanted to come to Barca, and he was studying Spanish. He was studying about
He's
the
committed.
club. He's committed. Like he knows that La Masia is important. He knows that he said that the young players excite him a lot. That he will use them. He won't like abandon them. He will use the young players,
And you know
and
what's really
I
crazy?
think
Oh, actually, sorry, I'll let you finish.
I think like if Flick is to succeed, he needs a ball winning midfielder. He needs Gabi and Bauer to return from injury, and he needs to give Fermin Lopez and Vitor Hockey more chances because like those players will be very important for a Flick system. I think it can go very well. I'm trying to be optimistic, obviously. Like with every coach that comes to Barca, I want to give him faith until it goes wrong, obviously. But until then, I want to give him faith. I want to see what he can do first because it'll be pretty unfair if a coach comes in and I have like no faith in him, even though he didn't get any games in. Like even with Xavi, with Koeman, I had faith for them when they first was announced to come to Barca, and I turned on them when things weren't going right. And I'll do the same with Flick if that's an if it doesn't go right. But I hope he succeeds because the way he wanted to come, the way he's committed, like I really want him to succeed. And the fact that he wants to give young players chances as well. Like I saw a report saying like he's a fan of Victor Hockey, even though like Flick loves Lewandowski and Lewandowski loves Flick. But the fact that he said that the fact that there's a possibility that Hockey will get chances now, it's a good sign. And yeah, I hope he succeeds.
Yeah. Okay. Vic, what's your thoughts?
Mixed feelings. Like what Silva said, I'm gonna give him his opportunity to implement what he wants to do. I feel like we have enough talent to create something. Um, for me, I'm still every manager needs a couple of signings for them to get started. So I hope, even though I know this is like a panic signing from the board because they sacked Xavi last minute, I hope they can at least with their improvisation at least get him what he needs. Get him. He's gonna need one more winger. I feel like the fullbacks are. We already have the fullbacks there. He's gonna need one DM as how Silva is saying. But when it comes to Flicks and what he's gonna do as my tactical view, I feel like we're definitely gonna be playing high line with him because that's basically what he believes in. He's a very, very direct, very expansive. His attack is very aggressive, very and we have the players to do gegenpress like Xavi. I've seen Xavi done it against Madrid so many times. We have the capability of doing it. For me, one thing I've said is that under Flick we're gonna concede a lot more goals, but
Yeah, that's not what I'm happy with.
we're gonna consider a lot more goals, but if he can find a way to generate chances for Lewa, like clear cut chances, because you have to admit, under Xavi, we just don't know what to do when we have the ball. We don't create chances for Lewandowski. We're always right there, just passing the ball side to side, slow and slow and slow. We never actually give the ball to Lewa in an area of danger. Go look at the goal that Haaland scored against was it West Ham when KDB made that run in the box and then he just slides it in and all Haaland has to do for a tap in. You know what I mean? Those type of rehearsed type of footballing ideas is what I want to see from my team. And I feel like if we can do that with Highline, with putting more numbers in attack and actually having some sort of chemistry, some sort of understanding, I believe Flick can do that. But I know for a fact that he is very stubborn when it comes to Highline, and he'll keep that Highline even if we're losing. So for me, that's the only thing. We're gonna have defensive issues with Flick, but I know for a fact he'll make us super suicidal football. Like if we're gonna either we destroy you or we get destroyed. One of those two. I don't mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't mind because I'm a type of guy that I want my team to go all in for the kill. So I don't mind getting conceding goals if we can punch back in the face because bro we've been defending a lot this season against the big teams, and we managed to hit people back in the face, but not enough to kill them. You know what I mean? So for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
bro, it's time to go free for all. If he can make us go free for all, I'm happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen,
another
the thing with the high line is pretty much the game is pretty much going to be decided like who's more clinical, who gets more chances. That's pretty
Mhm.
much going to be the
yeah.
deciding. But for me, like the reason why it worked at Bayern, sure, the high line was a bit suicidal, and they did get a lot of chances. They did get a lot of players running towards at them. But you got to realize Bayern had a sweeper keeper that came
Mhm.
out, and in case like a ball was too far ahead of the striker, and Neuer was there to like sweep it away, kick it away. Ter Stegen is not that guy, you know. Like Ter Stegen doesn't come off his line. He's not really a sweeper, and especially one on ones. Like I don't really trust him for it. Like with Neuer, like people are gonna talk about the attack, but look in the final. That's Bayern won. Neuer was really the main reason because Mbappe had like two clear cut chances. One of them was a shit shot, but there was another one was like a really good one on one save that Neuer saved with his leg.
Yeah, like people
So
don't remember. It was Neuer that won the Champions, not Coman. I mean, obviously Coman also scored the goal too, but Neuer was more significant. You know.
Mhm.
exactly, and that for me like that kind of scares me a little bit because like PSG did outplay Bayern in that final. The only difference was Neuer, pretty much.
Mhm.
So I think like we need to, we pretty much need to outscore our opponents because I think we will. I think we can go do well attacking wise, but with our defense, I don't. I hope we don't concede a lot, but we probably will. And the thing with Flick, like we have the fullbacks who like Balde. Balde is gonna really go up a lot. Like his speed, Flick is gonna really use that a lot. And if Cancelo stays, I doubt he does. But if he stays, he'll also be someone who goes up a lot. But if not, we'll have Hector Ford at right back also, and even left back to go. You see in Hector Ford's crosses, like you see how great they are.
Mhm.
But
Right.
Yeah.
we could also see Kunde at right back, which like I remember at Bayern, like the back line they had was Pavard, Boateng, Alaba, and um Davies,
Mhm.
and pretty much Davies was the one going up, but Pavard kind of stayed in like the midfield area, sometimes next to Boateng. Like he opened up a passing lane for Boateng to pass to Pavard, but Pavard didn't really uh, go up as much. Obviously he did, but he didn't go up as much as like Davies did. Like Davies was pretty much playing like as a winger pretty much, and because of his speed, he knew how to track back well as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I want to see what Flick can do. And I heard, like Vic said, we are linked with a keeper. We're linked with a goalkeeper from. He plays in the Eredivisie. He is apparently from Germany. His name is Mil Bakos. Um, I looked at his highlights. I don't think he'll be our starting goalkeeper. I think he'll just be a backup. I think Iñaki Peña will be gone. But with the goalkeeper coach that Flick brought in, with this new keeper that we might get from the Eredivisie, he could really improve him because the goalkeeper coach that Flick is bringing in, he worked with Neuer for years at Bayern and German national team. So I think Ter Stegen's spot is in danger because the goalkeeper coach that we have right now, he loves Ter Stegen, and we see like why Ter Stegen is like very comfortable at the club because he knows that his place is not in danger.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, let's
So
go.
I think
Let
so I think we need this goalkeeper competition for him.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go through some comments and then we'll be wrapping up soon because obviously we have our member stream to start. So we'll wrap this up in like 10 minutes time. So yeah, start the member stream. Yeah, we will, man. Sebastian, we will. Don't worry, man. We will. Trust me. It's just got to get through the emergency stuff, man. Usually doesn't happen, man. Usually doesn't happen. But we'll start, man. We'll start. We'll start maybe like 10 minutes. He's an upgrade. I think tactically he's better suited for the team on paper, but he's going to need a good DM. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, 100%. He's definitely an upgrade. The thing is, like, what I'm kind of worried about Flick is that is he going to be stubborn? Because we kind of saw how stubborn he was at Germany, and I hope that's not going to be the same here at Barca. Because we saw how Xavi was stubborn.
For me, Germany, like I wouldn't really put a national team like to judge him, but it's
Okay.
you can get some parts of it. Like obviously he's very stubborn. Like when it comes to the back line, like Kule said, like he's like even if we're losing, he'll still keep the high line going.
Yeah, and also, do you guys hear about his motivation speeches? Because I heard in the Amazon documentary, his motivation speeches for the German national team was bad. They didn't understand it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Does that make you guys a bit concerned?
What did he say?
But listen, he did the same at Bayern, and that motivated them. And that's Germany that are just pretty much losers. There's a reason they got grouped again.
So you think
the German national team has been a mess? It's not on Flick.
Yeah. That's true. That's to be fair. Like even before Flick came in, they were a mess. So I'm not gonna blame too much on Flick. But I'm just saying is that I hope the motivation speeches works for the players here.
Let him learn Spanish and tell them anda la mier.
Yeah. Okay. Flick was awful at Germany. Yeah, that is true. At the very least, he's going to probably try to find tactical solutions because not all solutions need to come from the market. And just again, the best specific players.
That's what I'm looking for, bro. Tactical solutions, not improvisations. Like what Xavi was doing, bro. Like the league we won it being pragmatic, which means he couldn't find an attacking tactic to implement on the players he had. He wasn't good enough. I feel like Flick has a lot more experience and he's a better manager. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, guys, we have 11 people here.
I'll say this as well. Flick was the assistant coach for the 2014 World Cup, so he was pretty much behind the ideas for that.
Okay, guys. All right, so guys, get those likes up, man. We're 11 people watching, so we're at 11 likes. Come on, let's get up to 15, guys. Get up to 15 likes, guys. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Guys, get those likes up. And yeah, we're gonna be rounding up very soon, guys. All right. But yeah, I agree with Silva because Flick is also kind of stubborn, so he may just stick to his guns whether it works or not. Yeah, I should say 8 goals in a game. He needs a new goalkeeper too. No contract for Roberto then.
Oh, that's also true. I don't think.
Hopefully, bro. Hopefully.
Yeah. Football Frenzy says, big up. I don't know how I feel about this decision, though. I think Barca needs a change, but I don't know if Flick's the right coach. I prefer Tuchel. Yeah, I feel like Tuchel have been better for us, but it is what it is. We just
I prefer Tuchel. Oh, I'm about to leave, so I just want to say a little bit of kind words to Xavi since he's about to leave. Xavi, apologies for how everything has been handled. You as a legend. By the way, thank you for the La Liga title and thank you for letting Gavi dunk on Real Madrid in that Super Copa final. Overall, you did what you could. You lift us up from the slums that we were. You made us more or less respectable, even though you did what you could. You took us to a certain level, but I believe that you left us in a way that I believe that we can go even higher with this new manager. I feel like he shouldn't be feeling like he's an absolute failure. I feel like there's a lot of things that play into this factor to why Barcelona is in this situation. And for me, he's just 15% of the issue. For me, Xavi Hernandez is just 15%. The rest of the percentage goes to the board and including the socios who have been incompetent. So for me, Xavi Hernandez will always be a legend. You and Coleman always will give you guys the respect you guys deserve. You guys, for me, change the entire history of this club. So that's all I gotta say.
All right, thank you for coming, Vic. I'll see you later, man. See you later. Okay. Flick wasn't so good the last year at Bayern when he got knocked out by PSG in the Champions League. I mean, that is true. I did remember that was a crazy game though. That was a close game though. So it wasn't like PSG destroyed Bayern, humiliated them. It was a close game. So I won't be too harsh on that. I remember Bayern gave them a good game. Like PSG struggled. They only advanced on away goals. Remember Bayern didn't have Lewandowski at the time. But I am kind of worried though.
You also got to remember he wasn't back. Like you think like after you win the treble, you sign much better players. The signings they got was Choupo-Moting, Bono Sarr, Marc Roca from Espanyol, and Douglas Costa in 2021. Really? Like, come on, what is this? How you literally won the treble. You think you want to build on from it. But no, like those signings are like awful. Zero game changers in there.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Okay. Come on, that's his name, man. That's his name. You can't come on. That's not bad. That's how is that weird? Yeah, you'll probably concede a lot more, but if the tax clicks, you'll score a lot, making it fair trade. Because it only looks bad when the attack doesn't click, like what happened in Germany. It's like when Michel at Girona, high risk, high reward football. Yeah, that's true. Ter Stegen thought he would start over Neuer for Germany too. PSG would have won the Champions League if Ter Stegen was a goalkeeper, basically. Yoster said the best thing you do with Ter Stegen is give him competition, like when he came in with Bravo. Do you think Ter Stegen needs that, or you think we need to move on?
We need to move on from him.
Yeah, he's been here for so long. I think it's about time we move on.
Yeah, no more chances. He's not a young keeper. He's been here for a while. He's been in all our humiliations. Like, he needs to move on.
Yeah. Yoster said he can't be saved. Germany had the same Bayern players. He worked at Bayern though. But
not
I think
though. Not the attackers.
But
like look, Lewandowski, Coleman, they are not German.
Yeah,
and like now we started to decline.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Bayern at the time is more stable. Germany has not been stable since 2018.
Exactly. Like, he came into a mess. He came to a team that lost to England in round of 16 of the Euros. And
got grouped in 2018.
Like, got grouped in 2018, and Toni Kroos pretty much like retired from the German national team. So he didn't have like a creative midfielder like Kroos. Like, he had to play with Gundogan. Like, he had to play Havertz as striker. Like, Germany's striker situation at the time was pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. His motivation speech for the German national team sounded like the Third Reich. The only thing I'm worried about is does Lewandowski will get a spot regardless of his form, and I worry about Gui and Victor.
I don't think those two are good enough anyway. Like, I think they'll be sold eventually.
Wait, Victor Rook's not good enough?
Oh, I thought he meant Paul Victor. I thought he meant him. No, Victor Hockey. Yeah, he's good. But Mark Hugh, I don't think he's like. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's that special. I don't think he's that special to be at Barca.
Yeah. Is it real that Flick puts a lot of emphasis on physical training, or is this hype created of that one season Goretzka? Barca needs physical improvement.
I mean, Flick definitely does put a lot of physical training, and it's not just physical, just the intensity as well that he has in his training sessions.
But that's my issue is this Barca team, we don't really have a lot of players that are physical. That's kind of my problem.
And that's why it's good that Flick is coming, so that he'll improve it.
Yeah, he's got to get back, man. He's got to get back, because if there is no backing, it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard. FC Barca fan says, I don't think our La Masia keeper we need. We need some good goalkeepers who has proven themselves in his mid 20s. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think we should get Alvaro Valles from Las Palmas. He's been good at Las Palmas this season.
Yeah. And Tarchi said, would you take Unai Simon?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, personally.
Yeah, I don't think he's good enough. But anyways, I think we're round up here, man. So obviously next week, guys, we'll do a Barca season review, go over the entire season from start to finish. We'll do the player ratings, season review. I guess we could rate Xavi, but it doesn't really matter anymore. So we'll do all that next week. We'll go over everything. And so, yeah, for Flick, man, just a quick reaction. We'll obviously discuss more as the season, but like I said, we've got preseason coming up. It's going to be interesting. And obviously we have the Euros and Copa America. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. So any final thoughts from you, Silva, before round up? So, like I said with Flick, he wasn't my first choice replacement. But I am happy we got Flick, though, because if we got Marquez, that would have been an absolute joke.
Yeah, no, if it was Rafa Marquez, I would have had no faith at all in the next season.
So, yeah.
So I will say this. Flick is the first coach with a CV that we hired since Sir Bobby Robson. You know that?
Wow.
Because like Pep Guardiola, when he came in, Pep was like a Barca B coach. He didn't really have anything. So like Flick is really the first one with a CV that came in since Bobby Robson.
Yeah.
And like this is the first time like we have a coach coming in that actually gets to have a preseason. Because like Koeman, he came in right after 8-2. He didn't really get a summer transfer window. He came in right there. Xavi also came in mid-season. Setien also came in mid-season. So like Flick is like the first one since Valverde who will get a really full season.
Yeah, I fully agree. And also, I will give Laporta props. He hired a coach that's not Spanish. I feel like we haven't seen a non-Spanish coach in a long time. As the last non-Spanish coach, Tata Martino?
Koeman was a Barca legend.
Koeman. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot Koeman. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. I have to give credit. At least Laporta.
This is the first time I've seen.
Okay, I think you're kind of cutting off there. But yeah, I mean, this is the first time. I think it's the first time we got a German coach, right?
Yeah, how it was similar to Cruyff.
Yeah. If I was Barca, I would actually go for Marmashvili or Valles. Let's sell Oriol as Zidane or has Zidane to the Saudis. Although Marmashvili will cost a lot. I know what Valencia will get him go cheap. Yeah, I think it's great coup here, but I think it'd be too expensive. It was Valles. And similar airbag for him because Valencia just added Dimitrievski as his backup, so they're preparing themselves to cash in. Would you take Mata over Flick? Yeah, actually, would you take Marmashvili from Valencia? I think he's a good keeper.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. He's a good keeper.
Yeah. Would you take Mata over Flick? I think Thiago Mata would have been amazing. But then again,
I would have taken him over Flick.
But then again, is it a bit too soon? That's the thing. So
maybe
experience.
I'll see how he does that. I'll see how he does at Juventus, but he's going to become a great coach. I've seen his football at Bologna.
Yeah, the last one was goalkeeper. Flick's reign could determine Laporta's second reign. You have time. Okay, Flick's your first foreign manager since Rijkaard. Wow. Dang. Wait, isn't Koeman?
Bro, we had Koeman. What is this? We had Koeman and Martino. Yeah, Koeman and Martino are not Spanish.
Okay. Nope, this is the third or second German coach at Barca. Okay. Interesting. So this is the second ever coach or third German coach we've ever had at Barca.
Yeah, we never really had German coaches.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out because I am very skeptical. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I think that's a good rounding off or a starting point for today. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been good. Thank you for coming on at short basis, and I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. So obviously we'll talk more about this as the preseason comes. We'll do our analysis, everything in the next season. And yeah, for Hansi Flick, man, let's hope this works out. Let's hope this all works out, guys. So I hope you guys did enjoy the stream, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. And last comment before we head out. Mata versus Xavi would be a tasty future El Clasico. Yeah, that would be a great. Maybe both of them.
Those two coaches are going to be very good. I've watched them.
Yeah, they're
going to be amazing.
Yeah, they're the future. They're the future for coaches. Those two coaches right there. But yeah, anyways, I think we'll round up here, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. Remember, guys, to like and subscribe. And peace out.